Did you send me that? Thank you. Well, welcome into Studio 7. It's
Hello.
Friday. I'm meteorologist. I'm saying meteorologist again. Autumn Lewandowski.
All right, I'm sports reporter Dom Tibbetts.
And I'm foodie Mercedes
Yes,
Wilson. Since
you
we're saying
are.
titles,
Good, yeah.
I'm foodie.
I was just following the leader's example here. I'm a foodie too. I think we're all foodies. So
We're going to talk about some food.
Oh,
right?
we are. I mean, what do people talk about this time of year? Holidays and food, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
football,
Football's a big one.
football,
Weather's always one of them, right?
Mhm.
fall activities. I was having a conversation with our colleague Michael Schwartz earlier about fall fashion style. We think the fall is one of the more elite seasons for fashion, especially on the men's side. I don't know for women,
Okay.
but on the men's side, we think fall fashion is a prime opportunity for the guys to ditch the golf looks from the summer, right? And you go into the jeans or the nice, I'm trying to think like golf pants or like chinos looks with like bomber jackets and stuff. That's peak for at least for
You can do
me
the
and Michael
layers.
Schwartz. Yes, exactly.
I have never heard that.
Hoodie with a jacket on over it, you know, some
Well, the layers.
some nice
Yeah,
brand-
I don't know if it's the biggest fashion forward time for women.
No.
Fair enough.
But
Fair enough. Out of my area of expertise, so I'll defer to my
I'll defer.
co-host.
But I
I'll
also
defer.
love it. I love sweaters and sweatpants
Right.
and being comfortable and
Mhm.
being able to do that in the fall. It's perfect. So
Yeah.
I'm right with you.
Oh, well, good for y'all though. Go ahead. I love it.
Yeah,
love
it's a fun time of the year. The sweatpants especially because
Mhm.
obviously summertime it's hot. But
Yeah.
I don't think when I got into maybe my senior year of college, I don't think I wore anything but sweatpants to class 4 out of the 5 days a week though. Especially like when the senior-itis kicks in. Oh
Mhm.
man, I dressed down. There was never a dress up day for Dom. It was always a dress
That
down
is
in
funny.
college for me.
Well, Alex says love me bomber jacket season.
It's
So he loves it.
they're great. They're a great time of year for the bomber jackets.
Yes. Well, and food too.
Love food.
hmm
And both
In
of y'all
any
just
season.
like just stare off. Love food.
Love it.
Mhm.
So holidays and food. What's your favorite food holiday? Thanksgiving, Christmas.
It's Thanksgiving. It's the food holiday. It's the official food holiday, right? So for
Mhm.
me, Thanksgiving is always the spread from what you wake up with in the morning and then the anticipation of depending on when you eat. My family eats early.
Me
Most
too.
people
Me too.
we do a 1 to 2:30 somewhere in there.
Yep.
But like my dad's side of the family would go visit them. They're eating at 4, so you get the second meal
Yeah,
in there too.
yeah,
So
That's
it was
the way
really
to do
good.
it.
So you kind of wake up, you have a little breakfast dish, you wait till the lunch comes around, and then you have all the desserts to carry out for, and then
Mhm,
obviously the leftovers for like a week straight are just phenomenal when it comes to.
Well, that's a good
Thanksgiving.
question. How long are the leftovers good for? Because people argue about that.
Well, I think until you're sick of having them, one,
Mhm.
or it doesn't smell good.
That's- yeah.
And then
Sounds
it's
like
time
my
to
dad.
let it go.
Like dad. So is Thanksgiving about the food or the family?
Oh man, my mom might be watching this now, Mercedes. It's about. I think it can be about both, but it's family, right? Getting back together. I got to go home for Thanksgiving this past year, and
Mhm.
now conveniently living 2 hours away from my home in Syracuse. That was my first Thanksgiving home since 2017.
Wow.
So I had missed 7 straight
Oh,
Thanksgivings
That's a
not
long
with my
stretch.
family. So this year, I'm a little bit more biased. Thanksgiving was more family for me, but when you get around the family and all of a sudden you just have a smorgasbord of food in front of you, you're like, actually, Mom, let's not catch up right now. I have this turkey and
I have
cranberry
more
sauce. I
important
have to
things to
devour.
do.
Right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It's really not. I mean, for me, I'm gonna. Now I'm thinking my family's watching. I would say the food.
Yeah.
60
okay.
food, 40 fam.
I mean, I think it's both. I
Yeah,
think you can have your
it
cake and eat it too
is.
with
Yes.
this holiday.
But if you don't have good food, are you really enjoying the family?
yes,
Yeah, I would think yes. Yeah, it just it depends
No.
on which uncle comes to the dinner table and what conversation you want to have. But yeah, I think for the most
I
part you're having
love having
having a good
everybody
time.
around. I
Without good
love
food?
having everybody around.
No.
Well, you got to have good drinks then.
That's a great
Either one.
counterpoint, Autumn. It's a great counterpoint. That could be we could do a whole episode on that. But
Yes. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's
but
great.
Thanksgiving, it's definitely hands down my favorite meal. I love
Yeah.
everything about it. I typically don't like all my food kind of eaten together, but that meal, whatever goes in my mouth is fine. Between
Yeah.
the turkey and the
It's
mashed
delicious.
potatoes and the corn, yeah, stuffing. Oh, I could eat
Yeah.
it probably every day.
Do you have a comfort food?
Ooh, I think it would have to be like a good, so this is on Thanksgiving related, a good chicken sandwich is like my comfort food. Like something, if I like need something, a good like fried chicken sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can't go wrong. I think it was my 2 years living down south, kind of like when I was just emerged with like so many places to go and get a
Yeah.
good chicken sandwich. I was like, this is great. If I was feeling a little down, just go to
Yeah.
The chicken sandwich will
go
do
to
it.
Church's Chicken and go grab a sandwich there too. When it comes to Thanksgiving, though, since we're on that topic, I will say though, like green bean casserole, I wouldn't eat it any other time of the year. And I don't think
Gotta
my
have it
body would
then.
even like it. But on Thanksgiving, it's like I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
But
I
you
like
go
it
any other
too.
day, I will not touch green bean
Okay,
casserole.
Right.
so tell me what about green bean casserole you like?
The way that my family, whoever the recipe, whether it was passed down from my grandma, my aunt, or maybe my mom, shout out my mom, but she's not a good cook. So it's probably it's probably not my mom. But I don't. It's just whatever the spices and then the crusted like the
The
French
onion?
onion on the top,
Mhm.
yeah, and
Mhm.
like just the way that it all blends together and it perfectly, I think,
creaminess,
complements. Yes,
right?
and it perfectly complements all the protein in there. We also do
What
ham.
protein is
You-
in?
No, complements the proteins on your dish, like ham and
Oh,
turkey.
okay.
No,
Okay.
we're not.
Okay. I was gonna say, okay, what casserole are you eating?
No. We're not going that crazy.
Yeah.
But when it's like, you have a couple other things, you need that complimentary side dish. I think green bean casserole is the best when it comes to Thanksgiving.
Hey, Grace agrees. I think Grace is the only one.
I
Okay, fair
like
enough.
my favorite would
Alright, guys,
have
we'll
to
take-
be
He's leaving.
mashed potatoes is mine.
Okay.
I could probably make mashed potatoes a meal because I love them so much. So that's
Mhm.
probably my best side dish of the turkey dinner. Yours is the green bean
Green
casserole.
casserole. Mercedes,
Yeah.
what's
Okay.
yours?
We'll get mine when we come back because Alyssa
Oh.
is saying we have to go to break.
Darn.
So stay with us and we'll talk more comfort food when we get back. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny.
Okay, so hold
Do
on
you
to that.
remember
Hold on
last
to your
year
side.
when News did that big Adam Campos did that big piece on green bean casserole and he stood outside the grocery stores?
Yes, yeah, because he did
And-
like how Russo did the Pepsi and hot
Yeah.
sauce thing. He did, yes.
And
Oh
it,
my
it was very up in the air.
No, it is. And like I don't think I would like it. I don't actually. I know for a fact I don't like it unless it's
Yeah,
on Thanksgiving. Like
I'm
if
with
you,
Deshaun. I've never had it.
yeah, if you put that in front of me right now,
Oh,
I
so
will
why
be
did
like,
you have such a face while he was describing it?
It wasn't. It was.
Because
I thought there was
because-
disgust in there.
Because I've never heard like we never talked about it. It was never at any dinner I've ever had.
Huh. Yeah, I felt like that was like
Mhm.
one of the staples.
Green bean
Maybe
casserole.
not.
Mac and cheese was a new one that, like, believe it or not, is like, because I think we talked about this last show.
Yeah.
I was somebody who didn't like mac and cheese growing up until I was like 16 years old. And then all of a sudden, it's not like when you go the not box craft version of it,
Mhm.
like
Right.
homemade from scratch. I wish I could go back in time and get like the 10-year-old me and be like, what were you thinking, dude? That's the greatest.
I didn't really
food
like
ever.
it either. I still don't. I would rather have some craft box mac and
See,
cheese
I mean,
than the real
I
stuff.
would prefer from scratch than
Yeah,
craft.
yeah. I only eat it from scratch.
Mhm.
I don't think I've had it with enough flavor. Like I just
Macaroni and cheese.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, with homemade. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just feel like every one that I've ever had just was a little not cheesy enough. It was like
So we're gonna have a
noodles and
potluck
some
day here.
stuff.
We're gonna
All
have a
right.
potluck day.
Okay.
So make sure it's one of the episodes that I'm filling in. So all aboard for that idea. I would love that.
Well, I don't know how much time we have during the break, but maybe we can do a couple would you rather's.
Ooh,
Do we
I,
have
lo-
enough?
I love a good would
Oh,
you
we have
rather.
1 minute.
I think
So
we do one would you rather out
yeah.
of that.
Would you rather be able to talk to animals or speak every human language? I'm gonna take animals.
I'm gonna say human language.
Every-
I'm gonna say human language too, only because I the biggest regret I have is not listening to my Italian aunt more and learning
Oh,
Italian.
Yeah.
So I would love to be bilingual. But like talking to my dog, I think would be hilarious.
It would. I
So
would love to
hilarious.
know what they're thinking when they're sniffing around.
Which is good, but I'll take human language, but the animal thing not too far off for me. Like that's a very like I don't
Dr.
think
Dolittle.
that's a tough actually choice. Yes,
Yeah, Dr. Dolittle.
Precisely. Having that kind of talent, incredible.
I just like to know what people are saying. You know, if you're in another country or you're on a plane and you have different people speaking different languages, you're like, all right, I know what
He
they're saying.
or she just made fun of me.
Yeah.
And I heard that.
And to be able to come back, that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be, especially when you can shock people and they have no clue. And we're coming back, friend.
Right, here we go.
Welcome back to Studio 7. So, Studio 7 can be found on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. So, for our friends that are watching us at home, if you would love to be a part of our conversations, which they're really fun during the breaks,
Very much so.
please join us on social media as well. We would love to have you, and we love reading your comments. But before the break, we were talking about comfort food.
Right.
And what did you?
About side dishes.
We're
So,
side dishes for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
so green bean casserole, which you then we went to mashed potatoes.
Mine is mashed
got
potatoes,
a bet-
and they've got to have some good gravy with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Nobody likes dry mashed potatoes.
I have two.
Okay.
Collard greens and macaroni and cheese, homemade macaroni and cheese.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't name just one because you have to eat them
You've
together.
gotta- yeah.
You have to eat.
They
I
have
mean,
to
like
go together.
I have a little, like my plate is set up a certain way where I get a bite.
This is back to what Autumn said,
Mhm.
because you don't like mixing your food together, but on Thanksgiving, it kind of doesn't matter. Like,
Right.
out of Thanksgiving, would you still mix collard greens with mac and cheese? Or is that just like a
Absolutely.
Thanksgiving thing? Okay.
No. Absolutely. I make it all year round.
Because I really do feel like there are some people who don't like, who don't like when their food mixes and touches each other.
Oh, are
Thanksgiving
you
does-
one of those?
No, I'm
It's
not.
not bad. I don't mind what is touching and eating together
Mhm.
on a Thanksgiving plate. I think it all goes.
So for
No.
for friends and family, because I have some family that's like that too. I go to the Dollar Tree and I get the plates that have the
Oh,
just for them,
well,
just for them.
if they've always been that way, they're probably pretty good at keeping everything separated. That
Their
would-
own little organizational tool.
You're putting just one little, extra cherry on the top for everybody coming over. No, you
No,
have to fend
no.
for yourselves at my house.
I also
Make it
just-
not touch.
Nope.
I don't know how
Nope.
you even get to like Thanksgiving though, and then you're just like, I'm so hungry. You have all this good food in front of you, and then you're like, hold on, wait a minute, let me just section off everything on my plate. Like,
No.
I have to attack it. Like, I'm just going right in, and we're
Right.
getting.
You've
we're
been
getting
waiting all
meal
year
one
for
through-
this.
That
Exactly.
food is afraid of you. It's like, oh no, here he comes.
Well, Peter says he also loves Brussels sprouts,
For Thanksgiving. Interesting.
and I love making turnip. I've never made turnip.
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever had turnip.
It's a tough one.
And
for
and she
Peter
might mean
Grace.
turnip greens. I don't know if you mean turnips or Grace. Let us know if you mean turnip greens, because there's a couple different types of greens too. And then Renee says, love mac and cheese. Renee, do you like the Kraft mac and cheese, like out of the box, or do you like homemade? That's the question, right? That's what we were asking.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Which, for me, and I think you said the same, right? Homemade.
Yeah, mine
Homemade
was
mac
Oh
and
yeah,
cheese.
homemade all the way. Which
I
listen,
won't
it's
turn-
all good.
I won't turn it down.
Yeah.
Homemade mac and cheese. I just haven't had one that's is like just cheesy enough. I feel like
Yeah.
I need more cheese in the mac and cheese.
If I went with like a microwavable or like an easy make mac and cheese, mine
Yeah.
is Velveeta over Kraft
Oh,
though. Like we used to buy
mean, it's
all
cheesy.
the time. It is those
Yeah.
little like you just pour hot water in
Right.
it legitimately, and
Right.
it's like a little snack in like a minute, which is great. From when like I was coming home from school on a day and I was like, I'm starving, need to eat something. It's just raid the pantry and pop
There
a
it is.
Velveeta mac and cheese. It was
Oh, for
the
sure.
simplest after school meal for a 14, 15-year-old me
Yeah.
to comprehend how to make.
And Renee says homemade mac and
Of course.
cheese. Yeah, she likes homemade. So what's your favorite meat for Thanksgiving? Favorite protein?
Turkey.
Yeah, I think standard turkey. My family does ham, and they also do ham on Christmas. So like it's just a weird thing because more people, some that just
Yeah.
like the double protein here. But I feel like turkey, Thanksgiving, it's the best meat. It's the easiest one to go to for this answer, and it accomplishes the goal. And again, turkey like a week later. Hold on, maybe not a week later. That we're talking about food
you just
poisoning here.
At
told us
least
caught
you
myself.
eat your meat a week, your
Let me-
protein a week later.
For that weekend, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I feel like you're good with
Yeah.
the leftovers. The turkey is still going to be good. Once you start touching into Sunday into Monday, you're like, okay, hold on. Is this going to
that
pass
might
the
be a
health
little too far.
inspection? How good is this turkey?
I'm with Howard. I am ham all the way.
Really?
Spiral ham all the way.
Yeah, I think that's more of a Christmas thing with us.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do ham on Thanksgiving and
True.
turkey or Christmas.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yeah.
I think we do too, but I don't touch the ham.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
No.
You can
Not
do so
when
much
there's
with
turkey.
it afterwards too. Like make split pea soup.
No, thank you.
You said that too fast.
Moving on.
Peas
You
are
said
not.
right. You-
Yeah, peas are not my friend.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god, I love it. So I have to ask this. You know how there's these lab grown meats that are coming out now? Would y'all be
No,
comfortable?
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Good
it's-
talk.
Yeah,
Good talk.
it's a good quick answer. I'd also just no. Yeah, I prefer the real thing, and I think most people do. And if you don't, and if that's you like lab grown or like we were talking before we went on, like when Burger King did the Impossible Whopper or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
something like if that's your thing, totally fine. Not for this guy. Not for me.
Okay, if it's meant for vegetarians and it's trying to be a burger and it's not a burger, it's just plant stuff.
Trying to be a
Okay,
burger.
well, you know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Like a
yeah.
nice hearty
love that.
mushroom is almost like a burger. I
Good
get
too.
that,
Yeah.
but if this is lab grown meat to be meat,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Nope. Just
No.
be the real thing.
No.
Nope.
I
Look,
like
Renee
that. No
says they also do Polish sausage with their ham and turkey.
I think that could be like a very like Buffalo thing.
Yeah, that
Obviously
could-
because the big
Yeah, and it
the
could be a
Polish
Polish
culture,
thing.
Polish population here. Because
I can't remember if we do that. With that, I would say Polish sausage is a big Easter thing for us.
okay, as I say, we had to
And the
defer
Polish
to our
food.
Polish correspondent Autumn Lewandowski over here.
Well, someone said prime rib for Christmas too. Turkey for
Yep.
Thanksgiving, prime rib for Christmas or
Yep.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, our family.
Yep.
My husband's side, they do the prime rib on Christmas.
Yeah. So
So prime rib, and then we do on my mom's side where the Italians come in. They do pasta or a spaghetti dish.
mhm, mhm.
And my dad's fiance now, they're getting married in April. Shout out you pops. They're super duper Italian. More because my last name is Tibbetts. Like there's no vowel at the end of this.
Yeah.
So I think we know where things cut off here. But he is now on the very, very Italian side. And they do the Feast of the Seven Fishes, I
Mhm,
think,
mhm.
which is something I had never had growing up. We did very simple like pasta dishes, lasagna, ziti, and maybe like clams or shrimp here and there.
For which holiday?
Christmas.
Christmas. Okay.
So now Christmas Eve, they do the Feast of the Seven Fishes. And that is just like taking in so much. And squid, not for me. I like calamari, but in the way that they did it, not for me. Like octopus linguine, whatever it
yeah.
is.
No, thank you.
It's not, but it's a lot. And it looks cool. It's a cool looking spread at least. So
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. We love talking about holidays and food, but we'll be right back with more. Stay with us. You can talk about holiday food like forever
oh my gosh, all day.
because there's so many options.
Everybody does it differently, you know?
Lots.
Yeah, so many options. Danielle says no meat. So, what are your dishes, Danielle? We'd be interested to know. What type of dishes do you have?
I wonder how much of an adjustment that, like, if you, because we all, probably grew up eating, meat dishes, because this really didn't like this lab grown meat and like the plant based protein really didn't like come into like full swing until like I feel like in the past couple of years. So like,
Yeah.
how much of a transition is that for somebody in their like, if you're in like your like late 20s, 30s, and then all of a sudden you make this change, like I don't know how difficult that for me. I feel like that'd be very difficult.
It would
to like
for me.
switch up my like complete palate.
Yeah.
My sister is a vegetarian and she decided that a long time ago. I think she was still a teenager, maybe even a young teenager.
Mhm.
And my parents were like, "Are you sure? Why would you want to do that?"
Mhm.
And she and my mom had tracked their protein intake one time, and my sister got more protein in her body than my mom did by thinking, "Hey, you eat meat, it's easy to get like all the
Yeah,
protein
yeah.
you need.
Right.
You can get it in so many different ways."
She was sneaking protein powder. She just
Yeah.
didn't tell anybody.
But she actually cared like gelatin that's in like I don't know if it's Sour Patch Kids, but it's in one of the gummy type of candies that have gelatin that byproducts with fish and stuff. So she won't even touch like that type of stuff either.
Okay.
So she knows what's in it and what she should be doing, but she gets her protein.
Yeah, good for her.
All right.
Has anyone ever had pierogi mushroom soup? Danielle, she said fish pierogi mushroom soup.
I don't know. Is it pierogi mushroom soup or is it pierogi and mushroom soup?
That was a really cool way you just said that too. I'm like that's
wait a minute, say that again.
Right, that's what the most non-Polish way ever.
There's not many words that I can say in Polish, but just the I know I could say pierogi. That's about it.
I've never even heard of that.
Me
Pierogi
neither.
and mushrooms.
Yeah, I've never heard of
mushroom
it
soup is good.
All right, friends, we're coming back.
Fantastic. Unless we want to talk about
Yeah,
we can do that.
You want to?
Sure.
Welcome back to Studio 7. So, okay, coming back in 10.
I was like,
we're coming back to TV Friends online.
That's a behind the scene look of even us not knowing what's going on here, but now
Tacos
we're back
for
into
Christmas
it.
7. Welcome back to Studio 7, everybody. So we're having a great time today talking about holidays and food, right?
Great, two great topics that we could spend another, I think, 30 minutes
Yeah,
on.
absolutely. So do we want to talk about New Year's? Because, I mean, we kind of brought that up. Or do we want to talk about Halloween because that's coming first?
I feel like we should touch on Halloween because we're a little bit more in season for it, but I also don't want to mess up the fact that we're still 2 weeks away from Halloween.
No, this is a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because is Halloween just for kids or can adults participate too?
Oh, it's for everybody.
Yeah. I used to be such a denier of that too. Like when you get into like the teenage year, at least for me, like 13, 14, when you stop trick-or-treating, you're like, Halloween's dumb. Like people just dress up in costumes. And I swear once I became like an adult past like 18 and it's like, oh, me and my buddies can all dress up and we can just like go out and have a good time and just, hey, this is great. Like I'm dressed up as Where's Waldo guy right
But
now.
what do you mean it's for everybody? Like you and your friends go trick-or-treating?
No, when we became of age, you go out and enjoy like an adult beverage at like a Halloween party somewhere at like a friend of a friend's house or like my parents
friend of a friend
hanging out. Not trying to incriminate 18-year-old Dom here, but so you just go out and have a couple good parties. I have some younger siblings, younger cousins as well. Like you get to that age too. Like I could also take them trick-or-treating and I might sneak my little plastic grocery bag at the time and be like, hey, throw a Twix bar in there for me, dude. Thank you. I want a reward. I want a little bit of a reward for going out there. How about you, Autumn?
Yeah, that I think it's for like when you said everybody, I think there is that awkward stage where you're too big to actually do the trick-or-treating with all the little kids. And then,
what age is that, you think?
I wish it just felt acceptable for the big kids. Because if you're 16 and you want to go trick-or-treating, there are many more things that these kids could be doing to get themselves in trouble. And I would allow any amount of candy to any kid that came up to my door. But I think there's just, other kids aren't doing it anymore and maybe they'll make fun of you for going out. So I think there's that,
I say go up to like 18.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, now if I see a 40-year-old, like somebody like me walking up asking for candy,
I'd call him 911.
I want to say, sir, ma'am. But I think 18.
You have a kid with you?
Like my daughter's 18. I asked her, are you going trick-or-treating this year? And she looked, Mom, no.
I know.
But she's taking her little sisters.
They need to have like an age appropriate, I don't know, like fun house. I guess the fun houses or like Halloween houses and stuff are things that that aged kids can go to.
When my friends and I, we were growing up and you get into that awkward stage where you're not trick-or-treating or we weren't taking our younger family members out. What we did is we did this at my one friend, shout out you, Mike, in my old house in our driveway. We would just have like a fire, and just hang out and just sit around, listen to music. I had a couple buddies who like play guitar and stuff. So like we would just hang out while my parents would go out and do something else. Sister would be out doing something, and people would come up to us, like the couple kids in our neighborhood who come get candy, and we would give them, you know, whatever they needed. They'd be on our day. We'd just be hanging out, having a fire. Like there are like things I think you could do that like transitions your adjustment from going around trick-or-treating to all of a sudden you're like, oh, now I'm going to start going to Halloween parties and go out with my friends and enjoy all that. So that was like a nice little breakup. But there was that 2-year gap for me where I was like, this is for losers. Nobody does this. I was like, I'm not dressing up. Why would I dress up? It's just a costume.
Is that how your voice was? Is that how you?
Well, it's probably more. Here's a Halloween problem. I want to ask you guys this too. Because I see it more and more nowadays. What do you guys think about people or parents who drive their kids in cars and they're going
house
down
to
the
house?
street, house to house? Because
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I've done it.
Oh my gosh.
I've done it. I don't like being cold.
You live in Buffalo, Mercedes.
I'm just saying.
But do the kids walk along and you just kind of creepily follow
or
them?
When they get cold, they can hop in and warm up, and then we go to the next house.
Maybe that will be something.
Don't reserve your judgment. It's kind of
there used to be like
it could happen.
There's part of me that believes it's like that's crazy. Like let the kids get out and walk and let them.
No, they would
kids.
walk.
But and there also is part like I've seen parents like their kids just hop back in the car and it's like watching the garbage truck in the morning.
Yeah.
But like you find out there's maybe some safety things you have to worry about there too. But for overall, I'm like, just let the kids walk, you know?
Yeah, there were some times that there were golf carts and the parents and stuff, they were on golf carts. It was almost like a Mr. Softy with adults sitting on this golf cart having a great time. I go,
the cooler
they know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween has evolved.
It has. Sorry, I'm that parent, y'all. But you know what? I hope everybody has a good Friday. Good weekend.
Yeah, here we are. Enjoy your weekend, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for watching Studio 7.
Tibbetts, you're here.